All right, sound is on. Um, I will wish Tanner and Connor good luck on there. They're playing in the playoffs for the Little League, so they'll hopefully. Well, Connor will be done in probably within the week. Tanner has been selected for the All-Star team, so he'll be playing for a little bit longer. I had a good day of training today. Weather was good. All different levels of dogs, all different levels of training. Younger pups, older pups. In the middle, they're all moving forward, holding their own. As you see at feeding, some of them have different issues, some of them don't.
Are you in there with them? I guess you are.
When the dogs come back from
He's a
overnight,
good
so
boy.
volunteers need do any of the dogs come back from overnights with younger volunteers need retraining or pick up back out? We try to avoid that as much as possible. We usually will give specific tasks. They're all briefed before they take an overnight. Right now we have very few dogs going out on overnights. But they get briefed on what's expected, what not to allow. They're not really going out and doing training. They're, I like the word socialization. They're getting used to the households, inside the house rules.
Pajama party.
Um, Pajama party?
We're having a pajama party.
Yes. Um, it's real. Again, I don't like the word training when they go on overnights because that's not really the goal. And there's such strict rules on the training here that, you know, if we had that many trainers, well, we would be in glory. And there's a place for it. It's a good thing. We just have to be careful. And when we see something, we identify it and we find out where it came from. But that doesn't happen very often. Kara's getting better. We're building Kara's confidence. I'm sure if you've seen us at the feeding time, um, we've run across this before. It's just a matter of building her confidence and keeping her moving forward. As long as they're progressing, then we're happy. Uh, Explain the actions you do with dogs in buildings. It's exposure, steps, walking down aisles, staying close. As I say a lot of times, tight up to the body, not tight leash. Being able to maneuver around between aisles, keeping the proper pace, the proper positioning. And it's easier to understand if you look at it from the perspective of somebody that has a disability with a balance problem, where that dog should be. And if you look at it from that angle, you'll kind of get the understanding of where the dog should be. So if you're changing direction, that dog, once it's properly trained and feels comfortable, will stay in that position, even changing directions. And we constantly change directions as they get further along in their training, just to get them used to that. It's a lot easier to walk in a straight line and be in position and pace than to go through, say, a TJ Maxx where there's not really aisles. They're kind of like round setups and they're kind of weaving in and out. So we do a lot of practice with that as well. When they get a little bit older and they've gotten the straight line and 90 degrees figured out. The question is there any hope for Leslie can still be a service dog? Once again, I don't make decisions. I just give my opinion. Carlene makes all the final decisions. And I believe Noelle's coming in the house, what, Friday? Is that the game plan so far?
Something like that.
Today's Wednesday, so it'll be 2 more days, I think. She's due the
When did you do
22nd.
the 22nd, and this
Yeah.
is what, the 15th.
So today's the 15th, so it'll be like the 17th.
So we're 7 days ahead,
Yeah.
which means that poor Chaos is getting banished.
We'll
They
keep her.
fight terribly.
We'll keep her busy down there.
Keep her busy.
We'll find something for her to
She
do.
could go out overnight.
Well, she goes out with Jackie and Amy a lot.
She does.
Are there ever any Danes that don't make service dogs at SDP? Of course. Not everybody could make it. If it was that easy, we would love it. But some dogs just do not make it for many reasons. But we have a high ratio of success here.
That's because we just don't give up.
Yeah, there's dogs, Leslie's another good example. Whether she makes it or not in the very end, we have worked with her straight through, working on all different issues. And we've done that with quite a few. I mean, we'd hate to give up on it. We give them every opportunity to be successful. Dogs can learn the command of right and left. The importance there is you have to be consistent. Don't ever give a dog a left and turn right, or you're going to run yourself into problems.
But they know it's right and left.
Yeah, and it, I think Charlie Moore goes by my body motion
It could be, but
and figures it out really quick. But I mean, I've had other dogs that know left and right. There's no doubt in my mind. But you have to be consistent with it. You have to mean left, and the objective is to turn left. You better go left. Don't say left and then keep going straight. Again, you've messed yourself up again. When you put a command out there, you need to follow through with the command.
if you make the wrong one, I stop and say, wait.
Yep.
Then give them the other one. Walk on. Whatever.
Yeah, I see some people, the problems they have when they find training so difficult is they start a task, they don't finish a task, and then they wonder why it doesn't work. Well, if you're telling somebody, the simplest thing, if you say down and you don't make the dog go down, and you just say, oh, the heck with it, and go do something else, you really are setting yourself up for failure.
Well, then you've taught the dog not to go down.
Right, exactly. We don't like failure here.
True. That one is fine.
Do-do-do. Good questions today. Boy, you guys are right on the ball.
Okay.
Lint is back in training. Not 100%, but working back up to it. All right. I see Carlene has a bunch of mail.
Not as much as I had before. It's not too bad.
And a heavy box.
Right.
And Dave's got his board ready, so that's usually my key. Let's see, one more from Don because it's a kid's question. Kids want to know if right or left dominant dogs are matched accordingly to people.
Huh.
This may not make sense, but this is what they asked. We train the dogs to be on the left unless we have a specific reason to put them on the right. And there are, depending on the disability, we just tend to stay with the left. My theory behind that is majority of people are right-handed. That's their strong hand. So if you want your stronger hand to be available for safety. So if you can use your left hand for the harness, then that makes sense. Now, it doesn't take much to switch them over. Again, we're back to consistency and knowing what we're doing. It's a good question. Okay, now I'm really taking up my boss's time.
Be my guest. You have that card.
Yes.
Mine's minus a number. After the 617.
I don't have my glasses on, so you'll have to.
617.
Don't read
It
out
says
loud.
6.
Don't read it out loud.
There's a 6 in yours. That's got a 6 in it. I will deal with them tomorrow.
What's that, Dave? I'm sorry.
I was saying, don't read it out loud, they can hear it.
No. We already did that. We already did that. No, we just got new cards for having just gasoline and oil. So that when we get a bill, we know, the accountant knows how much we've spent on gas and oil. Which right now, we're all mixed up with American Express. That's very difficult. What am I doing? I'm opening the mail. Let's see. Oh, well, you need the red bag because Andy will get more mail than I get anyway. There we go. Not as much as yesterday's Andy mail. Here's the first one. This is from Stratham, New Hampshire. Kay Mosier. Made it. That was a good one. Maryland, Brockton, Mass. That's for Uncle Annie. And another one. Another Uncle Annie. I guess it's Boston. It doesn't really have a much more than that. That's one for me. That's one for me. And this one's for Uncle Annie. This one looks weird, so it's gotta be from Australia. From Debbie. Debbie, she's the one that every day she gives me the whatever Bella's mother has posted.
Oh, right.
She sends it to me because I don't Facebook, so she brings it over from Facebook, and I really appreciate it because every day I read it now. I didn't do that before. League of Women Voters. Well, we'll worry about that next. Chris Murphy. Who the hell is he? Cheshire, Connecticut. You know, the great thing about the state of Iowa is I'm pretty sure you all define gun control the same way as we do here in Texas. Hitting what you aim at. That's by Ted Cruz. 9 days after the shooting in San Bernardino. I can't tell which side he's on, can you? I'll throw it out. I have my own theory on the gun control. But you know, somebody did tell me today, you know, in the Daily Doggie I put the fact that, you know, these kids have targets to shoot at, and it's always the shape of a man. And I objected to that in my Daily Doggie today. Somebody answered me and said that in Massachusetts that's illegal. You may not have the shape of a person. Good for Massachusetts, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know how they get a man out there?
Yeah.
They
I'm
do
not sure
on
if it's true,
Mythbusters.
though.
Terrible. See if you can knock over the plastic guy. You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's terrible. So, at any rate, I'm glad that got straightened up. So, Massachusetts is ahead of the country in that. Here we go. San Rafael, California. It's either California or Georgia. It's got a funny line there. 949. That's got to be California. I'll bet you that's California. And this is for Richard and Margaret Reinman. Timonium. The racetrack in Timonium. I've been to Timonium. That's the only I ever went anywhere when my husband was around. Okay, and then we have 2 electric bills, 3 electric bills, or a water bill, and a letter, and the AARP. Well, the reason I was saving that was I bet you they might have a grant thing to sound up for. Somebody ought to read that. We'll give that to somebody to read. Okay, what are you doing wandering around? You have to go lie down. You can't find a place. Go lie down. You can just lie down. Good boy, Bentley. That stuff is beginning to smell. I can smell it.
Yeah, it's almost finished its first 20 minutes.
Good. Okay.
There it is.
Fun donation. Thank you for letting us see so much of what goes on at Crazy Acres. You're very accommodating to your viewers, and it's very much appreciated. Good. Isn't that right? We'll put that in the swear bear. We'll put $10 on my head in the swear bear.
Getting the workout today, has it?
Oh. Oh. And that's from British Columbia. It doesn't really say who it was from, but it's from British Columbia. There we go. And what is this? This was yesterday. Oh, these are the cookies. It was wonderful to visit Crazy Acres last week and spend time with the amazing puppies and the people who make such a wonderful place. These cookies are my grandma's recipe. Hope you and others will enjoy them. I certainly have been enjoying them ever since they arrived. Yes, they're very good. I think she's yesterday, but you can have it today.
So you had seafood yesterday, huh?
Oh God, it's still in the icebox. I tried to have some for lunch, but it's pretty bad. Okay, League of Women Voters. People like you and me are getting pushed. They're getting pushed. I have no idea which side anybody's on. Oh, dear me. I thought they were looking for $35,000. They're looking for $35. No, I just... Oh, and here we have a voter opinion survey. Now, if you believe that they're going to read this whole thing, you're crazy. I can't do it. 'Cause all they really want to do is get you to spend $35 anyway, but I don't, I've got enough. No, I'd rather pay the electric bill. It used to be the League of something about university women.
I've always known it as the League of Women Voters, so it must
That's
be
funny. No,
for my
not when my mother was around.
Yeah.
It was university. I
That's
don't
probably
know.
where it started.
Yep,
So
university women. Okay, and here we have the electric bill. $74. That's got to be the guest house. 693 and 905. But we
So-
are on the downhill part.
Who's the 905?
905 or probably the barn. No, that's the house. So those two heaters are electric. That'll kill you every time.
Yep.
And the barn is no great shakes. And it's also the fact that we have the electric dryer,
Mm-hmm.
and I bet you we use it more. No, I think the laundry electric dryer is on the barn one. I think it's on the barn. Okay, well now that we've discussed the electric bill, let's discuss the water bill's got to be next. We do have a well. We could, but it is so brown, the water, and it stinks. It smells like dead fish.
Mm-hmm. Good reason not to use it.
The Ipswich water is very good, I think.
Yeah.
People do drink it.
Mm-hmm.
That's good because it's $1,200 worth. Holy smokes. And that's 1 month. Is that 1 month? That's got no prior balance. Wow, a lot of water there. And now they're all beginning to wash dogs. Holy smokes. Okay.
AC off.
What?
AC off. Did that blow this fuse?
No.
It says AC off.
No, this is that thing of mine.
It said AC off, air conditioning off.
No, I don't think so. No, the thing that said that is I've fallen and I can't get up. I don't know what they're talking about.
All I know is that machine went off.
I know, but that thing doesn't talk to you. Jesus Christ. We don't have a talking air conditioner.
No?
No. The only thing that
That's what I
talks
was
to you over
thinking.
there is that button pushing of mine, and it sounds like it. It sounds like maybe we unplugged it. I do know that Pam unplugged it earlier, but I think it's plugged back in again. Maybe we should check my, can you do that while you're standing
The
around?
life alert thing?
My life alert, make sure it's plugged into the electricity?
And
Because AC is also alternating current.
oh, okay.
DC is battery run. Right? Okay, I'll put all these bills over here for Teresa to deal with. Oop, there she goes. There we go. There it is. Okay.
One of your nets is on the floor, under your foot.
What?
One of your butterfly
Oh.
nets.
See, it's weird, that machine can, so.
There we go. We got it over there. And this is very heavy, whatever it is. David, Ashland, Oregon. Okay,
It says open
open here,
something.
open, other end. Okay, we'll do that. Open this end. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that. It's always nice when people give me instructions.
This has happened before. Yeah,
My kettle is not.
all of the electricity over there.
Oh, really?
Everything here is out of power.
What's this?
We're out of power, everything
Over
Everything
here.
on the kitchen sink side, apparently.
Oh,
Yeah, this has happened before. I don't know how we fixed it, but.
you go downstairs.
Steve did
Don't you
it.
know how to flip switches downstairs? You know how to do it?
I think last time.
I can go see. I'm not familiar with it.
The ones that, if there is one tripped, make sure you trip it all the way off and then put it back on again. You'll see what that's all about when you get down there. There we go. Here you go, Carlene, and all. 13 pounds of poopers. I told you it was heavy. I told you it was heavy. Poop pickers and nothing else. Thanks to a lot of dumpster diving, trained neighbors and all that. Just plain vanilla. No clever savings. I should have kept track of how many, and we could have had a count guessing project. Also no plastic bags, which are outlawed in our town, which is a good move. I'm sure good use will be made of these, starting with the next G-Box. Cheers, Mr. Bears, Florida. And he used a piece of paper that was reusing. Okay. So we'll just set that on its end outside and we can take from there when we need them. Everybody left us. You cannot make coffee right now.
I had already made it, I just hadn't taken the bag out and all that.
Oh, okay.
Lukewarm tea.
All right. Here we go. Can Bella and George attend the town meeting tomorrow? I thought of that, but it's after her bedtime, so no. Having a turnout of servants and supporters at the town meeting tomorrow night, just in case Dr. George misses reading the extra daily doggy, perhaps kindly. So I gave him, yeah, I'm all set. His presence might carry some weight if he could attend. The plan is for him either to attend or send me an email to read. So I'm on top of that one. Okay. Infirmary meeting. The meeting about service of infirmary will be at the town hall tomorrow night, Thursday at 7:30, location 25 Green Street in Ipswich. The lawyer suggested we have a show of people, so if we can make it, please do. I know, but everybody else is saying they can't make it because they live in Washington State. Murphy is a Connecticut rep. Disappointed we have made no changes of any kind. Oh. Huh. Is it on? Oh. You can block a user if you don't want to see their posts? Really?
Yeah, that just.
I didn't know that.
New.
Okay, so it's just blocked for me, not everyone else. I assume the flag is still to notify the moderators? I don't know what they're talking about. Good Lord, this is all sort of, I can't understand all this. Flags and blocks and,
They're fine. They've been whining for me the entire time.
oh God.
No, they're just.
Okay, now we have boots and flags.
They're not feeling well.
Oh boys.
There are cookies next to you. They shouldn't get a lot, but they have to.
Okay, so everybody's just doesn't have anything to say after Steve left, which is fine. I have a feeling I'm going to have to go and straighten out the electrical. It didn't come on?
No, there wasn't anything flipped.
They
did-
don't
we
look
did
like,
Go.
huh?
We went through the kitchen one. We did turn it off and then turn it back on, and it's still.
There's two boxes. Did you see the other? But it's
Yeah,
got,
the other one seems to be like pond stuff.
oh, okay. It doesn't always look tripped.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
which is why we went back and forth. But
I didn't see you go back and forth. Or this would have quit.
there's one that's kitchen side.
There's one that's labeled the kitchen side. We hope it's the same one. the man who wired this house drank. He was a drunk, and so we have extremely strange wiring in this house.
That's always fun.
That's always fun. And he, even after we complained about it and he had problems here, he still works in the town with no problem, which is very strange. However, we can't make any coffee till we figure out what's wrong with the,
Right, he's back down there.
he went back down there.
Yeah. But this happened once before, and Steve had trouble getting it back.
Why?
A couple weeks ago. I don't remember.
Well, you're supposed to remember these things.
I'm
You know,
sorry.
when an accident happens or something unusual happens, it always pays to remember how they fixed it. Because it just happened again. That's why I'm so expert. I've had so many things go broken that I've had to fix. Here, you can take these outside. That's a
Poo
good
pickers?
thing. Poo pickers.
Ooh.
Heavy. Heavy. Just stand them on their edge so we can pick them out of the top. Okay, we'll now sit here and wait and see what happens. Is the food cooking? Did that go off?
No, the stove is fine. It's on the other side of the room.
Okay. Nothing came on. When I saw it anyway. No, that's the pump. That's the pump for the oil, for the kerosene. No, it's just that top bunch.
I think over there wasn't the top two. Because this would be working. Plug into this one.
Oh,
I flipped it up real quick. Yeah, well,
I guess I'm gonna have to go downstairs. You can't see anything wrong with it down there at all.
nothing is jumping out at me.
You don't want to believe all the labels.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. I don't want to be flipping off things that shouldn't be
Well,
flipped.
you know, you should have, there, it's just off just a little bit. It
Right.
looks,
No, everything seems to be set. There are a couple that are
Yeah.
definitely off, but I think they're meant to be off.
that's the pond, that's the well.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are 55s.
Yeah.
Yeah. You put that on, the water squirts out of the flat field.
Uh-huh.
It literally, it goes firing up in the air. Any rate, okay. So I have to go down there, huh? I mean, it can be that one of those things has gone bad.
Could be.
I mean, that does happen.
Yeah.
So I can either believe that and just sit here till somebody else comes along to fix it, or I can go downstairs. Going up and downstairs is a major project for me. I already answered all the questions,
Okay.
so we're out. Good night. I didn't make.
You're at 32 now.
Oh, really? Oh, shit. Maybe I didn't answer all the questions. Wait a, there'll be a slight delay.
Just
What
touch
the hell?
each one to see which one bounces.
Just
here.
touch each one to see which one bounces. That's the tripped one.
Right.
We tried.
Yeah. well, I
Tripped
know.
out. Well, for some reason, seeing Carlene all by herself is making me laugh. Okay. I have a story about. I have a lot of stories about Bailey. What's for dinner? We have spare ribs for dinner that I got at Costco. Where's Bud when you need him?
Yeah.
Looks like the dogs are going to try and get the Chinese food for dinner. We have leftover Chinese. We don't want to eat that, though. Make sure someone gives a credit card number. How was my day? It wasn't too bad. I did get some grass planted for my outdoor venture, and I did get to take somebody to the shuttle bus, so I have been outside today. I hear Lee. Is she cooking? Yes, she's cooking today. I'm trying, not a cook. She's not a cook either, but she just stuck it in the oven, which is really all that's required. This is Regina, and boy do I miss you guys. Oh, she's pom-pom? I didn't know that. How is Bentley Bailey doing? They're fine. We had 2 neuterings today. Okay, can Bella and George attend the town meeting tomorrow? I did that already. Oh, Bella. I did that. I got back to where I was. Oh, 5 more. Whiteboard. Oh, nobody put the whiteboard up?
Oh, that's because he was in the middle of one.
Huh. I know you were interested in how things work. I worked in the Nabisco Bakery in Chicago, largest in the world. Did you know our ovens are 300 feet long? A football field. And we had 20 of them. Wow. Do you still have peanut butter cookies left? I'm curious to how long the 10 dozen lasted. We have 1 bag left. Who's whining in the other room? I don't know.
It's either Asher or Spinner.
Asher or Spinner, one of the 2. Is there an electrician in the house? No, Bud's not here. That 2-piece of mail you toss in is our state senator who's leading the filibuster. Oh, well then he's not too bad. I better pull that out of the mail, I better pull that out of the trash and read it carefully. That piece of mail, you're leading the filibuster. That damn gun bit. Really very annoying. No, I can't tell a story about Neil for his birthday. I can tell you about Pockets. Pockets is growing like a weed. I think she's going to be an awful big donkey.
I think so too.
Let me get this out of here. I gotta get out that Murphy thing that they told me I should read more carefully. That one. Okay, Chris Murphy, he's apparently the representative who's leading the filibuster today. Be like Mr. Smith goes to Washington.
Oh, Ashton.
Huh, okay. It is about gun violence. I do have some thoughts about it. To create a mandate for commission common sense gun legislation. I don't understand why, if credit card people have gotten to the point where if I walk past some guy on the street and he's very close to my wallet, he can read my credit card. I don't see why and with dogs we put these tiny piece of rice in their neck so you can scan it and see who they are. I don't see why guns couldn't have an RFID.
And then you walk through a thing.
That's right, like you're stealing them from a store. You go out and, and you set the whole world apart. Why can't they have those guns, especially the rapid fire things? Why can't we embed a chip in them, which cannot be removed without destroying the gun, so that then you just need a reader all over the place, and that would be very nice, I would think.
So you know where they are.
So you know where they are.
Because people don't want them to
Yeah.
know that they have guns on them.
Well, people don't want them to know that they're invading their privacy. Well, I got my privacy invaded when I looked for the videographer, and
Mhm.
now all I get is wedding cake announcements.
Right.
My privacy has been violated. Let's face it. I cannot go along with that. There are important questions this guy needs me to answer. Last year, there were 372 mass shootings in the United States. Huh. These guys are such a bunch of dimwits, though, I tell you.
Did you get it going?
Huh? No. You can't have any more tea unless you boil it. I don't know whether the stove may not be working either.
Yes.
No.
Or dinner is
No.
cooking.
Now be careful
The
now.
stove?
The stove, as opposed to the oven. So there's a stove over there on that side.
Oh, all the dog dishes are on top.
Dog dishes are on top of it.
Yeah,
That sounds about
okay,
right.
that's the stove.
That's the stove.
Oh.
And the NRA alone spent $27,998 last year to fight common sense gun legislation. I wish why can't they spend that much and argue with me? That'd be fun. I'd like that. But the problem with this whole thing is
Couldn't find it.
all the Republicans and all the Democrats, they all stand up and cheer or sit down and don't do anything as a block. So there's nobody thinking for themselves. Nobody. Completing and returning the survey. Okay, well, since I'm told to do that by my friends, the camera people, I will now do that. Survey instructions. Oh, boys. Assault weapons ban of 250 would ensure that no semi-automatic or military-style weapons will be manufactured for consumer use. Would I support a ban on assault weapons? Yes, I would. Wait, as soon as I find a pen. There we go. Yes, I would support that. Oh, God, there's a spider. Got him. Would this issue be a factor in your vote this year? Neutral. Strongest level. Damn near. Because a guy that wouldn't go for it's got to be a bloody idiot, I would think. Would I support federal funding for gun violence research? that is so dim. Oh. Why the hell do they have to research it, for crying out loud? I don't understand why they have to research it. Just look at the numbers. Just look at the numbers. But I'll have to say yes because I don't want to say no. Will it be a factor in my voting? Yeah, I'm putting those 9s. Unlike registration imposed on licensed firearm dealers, current federal law allows individuals to sell a firearm without background checks to buyers, without asking identification or even recording the sale. Well, there's a loophole. Federal legislation requires universal background checks to close that loophole and ensure almost all private gun sales conducted over the internet and gun shows will be subject to background check. Almost all private gun sales conducted over the internet. What about just plain old private gun sales? Yes, expansion of background checks. I mean, if they can figure out that I might buy a wedding cake, then God damn it, they ought to be able to keep this stuff straight. Number of smart gun technologies available today, including wireless readers that requires authentication before a gun can be used, retrofitting older guns with fingerprint, etc. Certainly, do I support federal government conducting research. The trouble is the research has been done. All that research has been done. It's applied to something else, like whether or not I want to buy wedding cakes. So now we got page 2. You guys will probably all want to go somewhere else. I could hardly blame you. But my supper's not ready. Currently, federal law includes default to proceed loophole. If a background check is on potential purchaser isn't completed within 72 hours, licensed gun dealers should go ahead and sell a firearm. No. Yes, all firearm sales. Yeah. Plus, they all ought to be labeled with an RFID.
Yeah, but you should freeze it or use it by itself, I think.
Didn't Australia remove all the guns? Didn't they confiscate all the guns? Somebody told me that Australia had a problem with a lot of murders and this kind of nonsense, and I think they confiscated all the rifles and guns in the whole place.
They had a buyback program.
Okay.
So instead of like just confiscating it,
Well, that's
the
what.
government like bought them back.
Okay.
Um,
Are you sure of that? Where'd you find that? How come you know that?
I've seen Facebook. There's a lot of like articles
Oh,
that
really?
are shared around.
Oh. Okay. I don't do Facebook. That's why
I
I
know.
don't. That's why I don't know nothing. Gun permits should be required. Well, as I said in my, I didn't say it in my email. I wiped it out. But in everybody's family, there's a rash of people that are sane and insane, and the most insane person in my family was the one who had to carry a gun. Yeah, his life is just not complete without it. Gun permits should be required of all hand. Sure, why not?
Bentley.
Yeah, I'm way up here on all this stuff. Okay, have the gun industry special immunity from lawsuits. Okay, that gave them special immunity from lawsuits. I don't know about this one. Protection of lawful commerce in Arms Act gave gun industry special immunity from lawsuits regarding the negligent manufacture of sale of firearms. Legislation has been introduced to repeal it and return gun companies to the same standard of liability as every other industry. Yeah.
I think Bentley's stuck. Oh no, I got it.
Bentley, get out of here.
Come here. Bentley, I know you saw a fly. It's okay.
In the past 20 years, more domestic partner homicides have been committed against all other weapons combined. Oh, Jesus. Over the past 20 years, more domestic partner homicides have been committed with guns than all other weapons combined. Yet federal law still allows a spouse to purchase a weapon during the period of time that the partner has taken out a temporary restraining order. Well, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Blumenthal and Murphy have introduced Domestic Violence Survivor Act that would prohibit someone from buying a firearm while a temporary restraining order is pending against that person. Of course, why not? Then he's going to ask for money, I know it. Mandate for common sense gun legend requires mailing 1 million surveys in the next 90 days. It costs 59 cents to print and mail every one survey. Dear me. If I give them $35, the